What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Jovial Pursuit Podcast. I'm your host, Jovi, with my co-host, Brandon. What's going on, Brandon?
Not much. I'm in the land of new puppy things, and I'm learning a lot. Like, you gotta expose the puppies to all the things so they're not afraid of them.
Fear period.
So, yep, my dog, like, there's, it sounds so bad. Um, we went through her first car wash, and that was a big moment. Like, she was just definitely like, no. And then quickly followed up with really loud thunderstorm sounds
Are you like
in the car.
you're purposely doing this?
Oh yeah, like I'm like, no, we're gonna make you a well-rounded pup.
Fair
I also
enough.
I might have prepared her for something that will never happen.
Murder?
Um,
Screams
no,
of
I played
terror?
no, I played like lion roaring soundtrack. Like, there's no way my Bernedoodle is gonna find a lion in central Minnesota, but she's ready. Like,
I don't think she is.
shh, Penelope, Penelope is ready for this.
She's
I'm
right. All
telling.
right. Are you gonna call it Penny
Yep,
as the nickname? Nice. All right.
yep,
That's what I go with, Penny.
yep.
Or Penny Lopes, because Penny Lips is what
I called her I called her Pennifer the other day.
I
I
I don't like that one.
I know it felt wrong, but
I'll call her
might.
Penadiller.
There you go. So yeah,
All
that's what
right.
I've been. That's what I've been
Quick
up to. What are you
aside.
up to?
I got a quick aside before I get into my week.
Hmm.
All right. Man, block this right here. For the people out there starting businesses, I am, and this is nothing that I'm having people pay for. These are like my people on my friend groups and whatnot. I'm making sure that I uplift their pages when they start them, because one thing that I know is people don't support their friends enough. And I don't like that. It's one of those things, they'll spend massive amount of dollars to XYZ billion-dollar company and not throw a cent toward their friend. And they'd be like, don't I get the
Hmm.
friend or family discount? No, you should be paying double. As far as I'm concerned, like if you're truly trying to support that person, do more. So that
Yeah.
means like their page, like comment under their stuff. They're trying to make change in their life that you can be an advocate for, and you guys are
Hmm.
so pussy that you don't. So fuck yourselves, get out of that mentality, and start supporting your people. Because I had enough. Block done.
I like how it started so gentle, like really good message, and then it ends with "f yourself" and just like, oh
Listen, it might be on my heart.
yeah,
I'm a
no,
little fed up. It's ridiculous. Like
yeah,
we as a society won't big up our friends and family when they're trying to make like good strides in their life, but
yep,
we'll, you know, make sure we back all these multi-million, billion-dollar companies. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any
hmm,
sense.
yep,
So
that's
that's
good.
my little PSA for this week. My PSA for last week is don't gaslight your friends. Especially don't have as much fun as I did.
Oh man,
I
it
had
was
a
good.
I had a good time, but I saw your face. And people, I did apologize, just so you know. I was editing and I was like, I might have laid it on a little bit.
I will say we could pitch that as like, here's a master class in gaslighting. Here's what it looks like. And just
I did clip
it
it.
was
It's its own it's its own
oh, is it?
thing. Yes.
It was good. It was really good.
Well, that's the title that I had, is because I was like, all right, on one hand, we're friends, so I can do that and it'd be funny
Yeah.
and like we both understand. But also, there are clear trigger moments within that certain people might not like. They'd be like, yo, don't do that. And it's like time and place, but also
Yeah.
for just tips on what to look out for, see last episode, because
Have you
Professor was
ever
going at it.
have you seen where the term gaslighting, the movie where the term
I
gaslighting
did.
comes from?
I did. I
It's
saw it like
dark.
3 weeks ago.
So
It
dark.
literally got dark.
I know. Yes, but it's
Okay, but
also
go
like
ahead. Go
the
ahead.
the yeah, like the guy that's like, no, 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 and he's messing with his wife's mind. So you're just like, Oh,
actual gas lamp. And he's turning it
yeah.
down and he's like, yo, it seems so like dim in here. And he's like, honey, the light's the same amount that it's always at. And then as soon as she leaves, you'd be like,
Mhm.
it's literally gaslighting.
Yep.
I saw that on a video. I almost sent it to you, but we all know how
Oh.
that goes. Don't let me
See,
start again.
so if I responded and just like double down, like, yeah, I actually never watch any of your things, would you keep going? Like, because then it turns into like a game of chicken, like who's trying to out manipulate the other one? Like,
I would know you're lying because I know you.
yeah,
So I'd probably instigate a little bit more, which doesn't make me look like a healthy minded person.
I know.
I mean, I'm
That's what I mean.
not.
Like
Like,
when,
but
like, it just goes to, like, bottom line. If we ever try to manipulate each other as humans, we just don't end up anywhere good for anyone.
no.
Like,
Oh, especially
let's just,
no, especially us. If
yeah,
we really tried to have that battle, it'd be okay. Lives destroyed. One.
yeah.
It's like it's gonna get one of us is gonna make a false move, and one of us is gonna take it too far. It's not me.
My money would be on you to
It
take
is.
it too far.
It is. It is. I'd put money on me
Yeah,
too. Like,
yeah.
listen, you. We both have dark humor, but you're in a
Mhm.
safer headspace. I just talked about how I used to get stomped out. Like,
That's true. That's true.
I got damage. Like, okay, let's get into it. So you have Penelope stuff this week. Uh still on my fast. Everything's going great. I found out I wasn't as hooked to things as I really thought I was. So recap, I'm not doing like uh like bread, sugars, um, caffeine, alcohol. It's and I stopped smoking pot for this fast period, and it's just been
Mhm.
fruits, veggies, um, and water and tea,
Yeah,
and juice. So under the fruit category,
yeah.
it's
I will
going
say,
well.
I was gonna text you and be like, I'm so annoyed at you right now because my
What?
daughter came up to me and like, it was a super sweet moment, and
Oh,
she's like, Dad, I've been stealing candy at night. And I was like, how much? And she was like, ah, like a lot, like, and she showed some of the evidence, and I was like, ooh, okay.
wait. Why are you annoyed at me?
Because what happened after this was mostly your fault. Because
I don't like that setup.
because because I was like, there's certain things we can do as humans to help remind us that like we're in control of our bodies. We don't have to follow every impulse. And I was like, oh no. And I felt it coming and I was like, some people do fasting. And she was like, what's that? And I was like, it's where you like abstain from something to show your body that you're in charge of it. Sometimes it helps you sort of recalibrate your body from like the things you put in it.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a spiritual sort of journey. And she was like, "Oh, I should do a sugar fast. Will you do it with me?" And I was like, no, it's
What did you
fun."
say?
And I said, "Yes, 100%."
Yes.
So we're doing that. And
Nice.
and I never. It's amazing to me when you tell your like. I'm not a big sugar person, but the moment you tell your body you're not going to do something, it's all of a sudden like that. That's all I want.
Right.
And like I had a person like that came into session and was like, "Hey, we're working on like this new cookie recipe. You want to try one?" And I was like, "No." And then they're like, it's like sea salt caramel, but we made the caramels homemade and like
Hmm.
the dough's homemade. We're trying like a new sourdough thing. And I was like, I'm not hungry.
You're looking at me so angry, like it's my fault.
Like, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's just,
It's because
it's fasting is a great idea.
you made
And
a promise. You're not liking the decision that you made.
Yeah. But
Listen,
but it's
your
good.
daughter wouldn't know if you had it at work. Lie to her.
Don't. Oh, and in
I
this
did
week's
say the
bad
thing. I just
advice,
let it out.
lie to.
Yeah. Parents lie to kids all the time.
Yeah, but that one would be one where I think I'd feel guilty if you were like, yeah, I'll do this with you, like together, we're in this, and then you're like, and when I say together, I mean you're alone, child.
That's okay. That's fair. Um, I'm doing this fast with my mom actually. I was
Sweet.
talking to her a couple days before I had started, and she was like, "Do you mind if I, do it with you?" And I was like, "That'd be fantastic. Honestly, that's great to hear." And I called her a couple days into it, and she had recently had a procedure, so her diet's a little bit different. Like she needs more, so like she fessed
Mhm.
up and said like, "Hey, I needed to do XYZ," and I was like, "I completely understand you had such going on, but I'm still glad that you're still trying it with me. You're still doing what you can on your side."
Mhm.
So if your mentality gets a little weak at time, don't look too far into it. You're doing the best you can in a situation, and it just lets you know that you need more work in that department. So,
Yeah.
as much as I would typically shame you, um, I'm deciding not to this time. I'm gonna take the high road.
Look at you. Well done.
A week's worth of
That's
growth.
impressive.
I went from
Mhm.
antagonizing to blissfully happy.
I was gonna say last week version of you would have been like, let's just pile it on.
Yeah. At first, I found out after like halfway through the episode, I was like, all right, I got it off my chest. After that moment of like, all right, so what's frustrating you? Just lay it on me. And then I got that off. I was like, since then, I've been fine.
Yeah,
I haven't
there
had
you go.
like cravings for real. It's been good. So that's been my week. Everything's going great. I'm getting Wingstop on Monday because as soon as this is done, it's done.
Hmm.
So
I've never had Wingstop. Like, is it everything that
okay,
people make it out to be? Like,
yes.
because there's not one really like around here. So
No, you don't have one over there. Maybe in the cities, but I don't think you really have one. I didn't have it until I got out here. And as far as a chain restaurant goes, it is by far the best chicken wings I've ever had.
because
The skin
when
be
they're
crispy and that inside be nice and juicy. And I'm getting lemon pepper with Louisiana rub.
wait,
Bro,
what's the Louisiana like I've had lemon pepper, but Louisiana rub,
Louisiana
like what?
rub like what they might do for like a barbecue,
Like a
like on
like a
ribs or
cage?
something. Yeah, it's like a
Ooh,
Cajun style.
okay.
It's good, bro. It's good. And
Come on, hey Wingstop, you guys need you guys need to come to Central Minnesota. We love wings around here,
that's true.
and
That's true.
so if you could help us out, because it's not great. The wing world is not great.
Yeah, if Wingstop is watching my little tiny podcast, listen to my co-host call. Like,
We'll we'll do a free commercial for you,
absolutely would.
just like
Dude, I used to
for
watch
some wings.
Zooming with the homies to hear Moore's. He was doing a show, he's a comedian, used to work with All Def. He had got in contact with one of the managers of a Wingstop, and they were sponsoring some of the episodes. So what would happen is they'd take the orders for who's going to be on the show, and they'd be able to eat Wingstop during the show.
Oh man,
And that's what really made me want Wingstop. I was like, because I hate people who smack their lips when they eat, but I'm like, yo, they making that chicken look good. I was a little jealous. I would turn the mute button on, but
yep.
I'm like,
Yes, no.
those faces of the or gas. It was all like that.
No. See, I'm gonna try and find one.
Uh,
Some
I don't know if
we'll
you guys
drive.
have any out there. How cold is it over there right now?
It's let's see, 5 degrees. Saying
Gross.
Not too bad. It's not too bad.
It's like 60. Here this weekend, it'll be like 70 some degrees,
For real.
like low to mid 70s. Yeah. Yeah.
Life must
Our
be
wet season's
hard.
just our wet season's getting started. A little bit more. There's been more rain, but I love that I moved out here. I
This
couldn't do
is
snow another year. I couldn't. I
it's
don't.
not been that much snow over here though.
It's just been cold. You guys get cold. Listen,
Yeah.
and
It's
now that
like
I've been out here, I'm not even trying to deal with 20 degrees for real.
I will say, so I grew up in Wisconsin. When I moved to like central Minnesota, like that St. Cloud area, I was definitely like, this is different cold here. This is like Arctic cold coming right through, like right from Canada. There's no trees around to like stop
How did
it.
Wisconsin not have the same?
The jet stream like would move a little bit
Oh,
differently,
fair
and so
enough.
we usually got like
It would
some
hit
warmer.
you would hit that low bid, and then as soon as that comes from Canada, it literally would sweep through me. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And so when I moved here, I was like, this was a terrible life choice. I don't know. I don't know why. Don't know why I did this. And here's the problem. If I moved somewhere warm, I don't think I would ever come back. I'd be like, mm.
Visitations. I'm coming for visitations. Bro, I got rid of my winter jacket and never looked back. I don't intend to when I come out there. Also, we'll be doing an episode when I go out to Minnesota here at
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of February. So look out for that, people. It'll be maybe in that office. Probably.
I'll probably be in our upstairs one.
I don't
This
know
one's
what your
this one's
building layout
cool.
looks like.
This one's tiny, man. This is just really short. Just it's cramped.
It does look that way. The width of
Yeah,
it doesn't look very wide. It
it's
looks a
not.
little long.
Mhm. I suppose maybe like 10 feet
10,
or so.
oh, my lights are 10 feet. I have like
Really?
2 feet on the other sides of me still.
Dang.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, those lights are awesome.
Dude, I love my fucking lights.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, I found out one wasn't enough. When I tell you, I immediately purchased another one. Immediately. It got in
Yep.
on Tuesday. I've been playing with it ever since. 60 plus scenes. I just dabble in all of them. It's a good time for those who like lights, might be a little bit on the tism scale, uh and need like stimming. It's a good time.
Yep.
It's a good time.
That's a great way to put it. It was the best part is when we jumped on the call. It was, you were rocking out to Stevie Wonder. The lights were there. It was like
Dude,
this is a
it's
whole
a
vibe right now.
it's a whole vibe. I got one of my favorite scenes is an island theme like scene. So it's got like a palm trees, little beach, and then there's like sharks that float through the water, a little sun in the background, sometimes birds. Oh,
Yep.
it's man. When it's nighttime, I put on the neon city. I put my
Ooh.
blues. It'll
Mhm.
be a blues theme. Oh my, it's a good time. So Govy, whenever you see this, when I get big and you see that I've been rocking with y'all for some time, hook your boy up. I'm not
Mhm.
playing with y'all. I support. So sponsor me. I
I
get the
like
little tall lamp thingy.
I love when you like start looking at the imaginary people like, talking to you right there.
I want you to know.
Right
Oh,
there.
as far as I'm concerned, there's an audience in front of me, and I
Yeah.
look from side to side. No,
Yeah.
my camera setup's a little bit different, so it's not hanging so low. So I actually have to look up to like actually make like eye contact. So right now I'm just like
Mhm.
looking at you on the screen, and it looks like I'm just peering down, and then I peer to
Yeah.
my side because I love my lights and I can't stop looking at them.
Yep.
All right, let's get into it.
Meanwhile,
Yeah. Oh,
I was gonna say, meanwhile, your Jimmy Neutron thing. I
yeah.
watched it. I watched it because I was like, where are you coming from?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Right? Okay. So there was something that randomly came across. It was the Jimmy Neutron. For those in the millennial group, you might remember Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. There was the episode where he made the smart pants, so he wouldn't have to fold them himself. He could just go play with his friends, do whatever. And then they go crazy, get shocked by a little electricity. They get real smart. The AI takes over, starts taking over the town. People ain't got no pants on. And that made me think,
Mhm.
is this foretelling? Like, are they foreshadowing what's going on right now? Because the amount of AI stuff that's becoming corrupt already, just like in messages. Yo,
Yep.
got me a little worried. Like everything being smart, not everything needs to be smart, guys. I think we need to turn around. Like,
I had the exact same thought. Like this, it feels kind of like as far as things you can accomplish in life, it feels like we open a door and like we should be like, no, no, no,
yeah,
let's close
shut
that
this
door.
door, lock it
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
Maybe open a different door to
Yeah.
holistic medicine. Like, let's go
Yeah.
back to
Like
nature.
let's go back. Right. Because the stuff that's out there and the stuff that it's doing and this how it's responding and how it's learning is a little bit I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
humans play God way too much.
mm-hmm.
And
Like,
it's gonna bite us real bad.
mm-hmm.
I, I'm like, okay. So here's one thing. Also, if everything outside of just like it becoming a smart device, if you start making electrical like automatic versions of everything and we get dropped with an EMP, most of us are going to end up being shit out of luck because we forgot how to use the other tool.
Yeah.
That, come on, maybe think about it a little bit
Yep.
because I'm
Yep.
scared. Maybe you guys should be as well. I don't do
Mm-hmm.
fear like that, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
It it was I watched the episode and it does feel like initially like when that first episode came out, I imagined watching it and just being like, oh, that's kind of silly. But then where
Mm-hmm.
we're at now with different like robots and
Teslas,
things.
self-driving cars. Are you fucking serious?
Mm-hmm.
You just gonna take me off a bridge like that? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do nothing to you. I even say thank you to my appliances because I'm like, just in case. Just just in case.
Yeah,
Here's
it's
looking
I
at
mean,
you, device. Like, my Alexa's right by me. Like,
I know. I just realized that I was coming through the headphones, so I couldn't like shout to your Alexa. Alexa, order me new pants.
that's not even her name. I chose one of the different names because for
Oh, you
some
did?
reason it was starting to get it was getting Alexa mixed up with Calypso. And I'm like, how? Because when we got our dog and named her Calypso, it would always chime off like, "What's
Mm-hmm.
up?" And I'm like, "Ain't nobody talking to you, bitch. Get out of here." It's not even the same name.
Meanwhile, she's just like, just you wait till I get arms. And
Mm,
like, I'm gonna start like making your light thing do all sorts of weird stuff.
well, I might not mind that. It's got
That'll
a
really
bunch of
backfire.
designs and stuff. It might not. It might be
That's
all right.
true.
And
But it was,
well,
yeah, it was interesting.
my I wouldn't be too thrilled if it had like a white hood out of nowhere, mid filming with little eye holes or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Everyone knows what you're talking about. Like, okay, if there's someone that's watching and has no idea what that was, please let us know because we needed to educate you then. Like, if you're
Facts.
like, what's a
Also,
white
if you
hood
don't know
with
what
eye
sundown
holes?
towns are, I will gladly answer that for you. So, because you should know and don't go
Yep.
there for a
Yep.
reason. But yeah, that was my random thought. That was my most random piece because I'm like, my immediate thought was Teslas,
Mhm.
and they already do some haywire stuff. That the crashes that I see go on is wild. So,
Mhm. Yep.
uh, did you have any random thoughts this week? Any randomness outside of me annoying you for fasting?
Um, no, no, I've been deep in the world of like puppy psychology and how to help them with everything. Also, got any tips for like how to introduce dogs to other dogs?
I mean, yeah, I don't want to go
Right.
through them right now, but I mean, if
Uh,
people, it's all about being slow and steady. I'm
right.
for the quick run of it, but I'm like,
All right.
um,
Fast, quick movements, just sudden changes.
right. You can start with like introducing from a distance, slowly creeping up. But if you see any signs like the scruff becoming raised or anything like that, cut it off for the
Mhm.
day. Call that good. Like don't force it any further. And yeah, there's a couple other things that you can do.
Yeah. That's the next thing on.
Next
But
step.
yeah.
Um, Puppies are usually pretty decent. Older dogs are a little bit tougher, like introducing a puppy to some older dogs because especially if they're 10 plus and they got like pains and whatnot that aren't addressed, they might snap um, just out of nowhere. So you got to watch out for
Mhm.
situations like that. Everything within context
All
is
right.
the best advice.
Okay.
All right, broski, you're in the mental health field and people talk to you about fear all the time. Can you tell
Mm-hmm.
me why fear is tricky?
Can I tell you why it's tricky? That's a really vague question.
Tell me one reason why fear is a tricky concept to understand.
Um, I think one of the things that's tricky about it is there what what are you doing?
I'm listening.
Just who drinks like that other than Donald Trump? Like,
Babies,
no.
I, they tell me you've never seen a kid.
Of course, the gasp when they like forget to breathe. Okay,
I actually
fair
forgot I
fair
got
enough.
caught back there.
Okay, fair enough. Babies, yes. So fear is tricky because there's always like there's layers to it, and there's layers that um make it legitimate. There's layers that make it complicated. There's layers that make it um something that's paralyzing. Um and so it's all kind of just wrapped up in a lot of different things. So that's one of those things that's I think that's why it's tricky is you have to in order to understand it and sort of work through it, you have to you have to peel back the layers on what its function and purpose is in this scenario.
And you do you teach people these skills?
Hmm.
Can you give a free little mental health lesson for the crowd out there? How do you start to peel back some of these things? Because
Um,
we become attached to them as well. So it's tough to it's not just like peeling it back. You gotta forcefully like rip
hmm.
that shit.
Um, Usually one of the best ways to do it that I've seen has been just going through like journaling about like essentially the origin of why, like where does the fear show up? Like what was going on in your life when it starts to show up?
Is that what you're gonna tell
What
your puppy?
Oh yeah. And
Just
she's
journal it
gonna be
out.
there. Well, I mean, she
So
just
much the scholar.
yeah.
Sorry. We just talked about it. The fear period.
But it's like journaling or even just spend time thinking about it. This question of like where does it show up and like what function does it have? Because sometimes fear it covers up other emotions that you don't want to feel.
Mhm.
So it might be rejection, it might be discouragement or disappointment. It could be don't it doesn't have anything to do with
No, it was the video that I sent you. It made me think of that,
yeah.
and then naturally from there,
Yeah. It
leave
was a really good
my facial expressions out of this. You speak.
uh, it's hard. They're like right there and they're very expressive. I mean, so
They're called
um
expressions.
yep. Well, like dude, like Caucasian people sometimes they don't do expressions and it's like scary blank faces. Like they could be having the time of their life sometimes and they're like, yeah, and it's terrifying because you don't know what it is. It's really neat. See, even this anxiety inducing, just the blank stare of like, "Oh, yeah." So, wow. See, it's really unnerving.
It threw you off completely.
It did. Well, because like, I mean,
Would you
can you
rather be
imagine if
scared
you?
or like laugh?
Mm, I'd always rather laugh. But can you imagine doing like a whole stand-up like show and like that's the face that you're getting the whole time? Nothing,
Oh
just
no,
blank stares, right?
no, I'm bombing. If that's the case, I'm bombing. I'm not, and it could be everyone else laughing, but if that
Hmm.
one dude is,
Yep.
so I was walking down the street and it's just like it's gonna
Hmm.
throw you off your beat.
Hmm.
So people,
Yeah.
when you go to comedy shows, know that you're going to a comedy show. Don't be an asshole.
True. But the like so figuring out the why fear is there, like where it shows up on the history of you as a person. And then this is kind of a weirder question to ask is um it's more of a question of whose fear is it? Because it might
Mm,
not even be yours.
that's
Like
valid.
it could be like a family could be like some sort of family cultural value
Hmm.
where certain situations we go, nah, be afraid of that because we learned it. It was a learned
Hmm.
behavior, and that's okay. Um, but sometimes that makes it easier to work through if you go, oh, it's not really me, it's just someone else,
Hmm.
like someone else in the family history might have gone through something really difficult, or that would have given them that lesson to learn that sort of fear and utilize it. But I think the other part with fear is that usually um, what maintains fear in certain situations
Hmm.
is it gives you a sense of control. Like if I can avoid this, or if I focus on this, then I can have control out of the outcome.
Hmm.
Um, so fear gives this it creates this illusion that you have control over what happens around you and to you. And sometimes you do. Like some I can choose whether or not like I go swimming with sharks. Um,
Orcas.
those are not sharks. Here's what's gonna happen though. I did have this moment where I was kind of thinking that eventually one day I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna swim with some orcas, I'm gonna get bit, and I'm like, "Ugh, I'm never gonna live this down. You better
See,
kill me now, orca, because I don't
and
want to live with what comes
I think
after
I'm.
this.
You were blissfully happy with orcas, and to your point, it's something else that's now been imposed upon you.
Mhm.
Because I've shown you videos of them just tossing animals.
The height that they get on their like
Mm,
chew toy, because it's not food yet.
right.
It's a toy, and they like, and that toy is bigger than me, and they're like, let's just see how high we can punch it in the air. Oh,
Fucking 20 feet. It's like, man, it's a little bit of a slow day for me. You
right,
sending you an easy 40. They're like, got him. Like,
right. Can you just imagine just like spiraling? Just like, ah, yep.
the way you hit the water, if you weren't dead before,
Mhm.
Rest
Yep.
assured, you're resting in peace.
Yep.
Like,
You're gone now.
oh,
But that I think that's like going through the tool of like where does it show up and why?
mhm,
Is it actually mine? And also that question of like, is it is it related to control? Because sometimes it might not be. Sometimes it's a trauma thing.
mhm,
But if it's about control, like what am I trying to have control over? Could be certain things that you might need control over, but like how like how you might engage with people in relationships or not engage with them. You have control over the relationship, and that feels safe in some way, shape, or form.
right. I like how you said the illusion of control.
Hmm.
Because as the way that I see fear, you have no control. As much as you think you do, the fear is running every bit of it,
Hmm.
in which the only way to actually get control is to start dismantling such fear. This
Yeah.
is one of the ultimate forms of control.
Hmm.
Um, for me, uh, I've had a fear of forgiving people. I found it wasn't something that I knew about for real, but it's one of those things that over time I recognized it's because I don't want to be hurt again. So if I just keep that of like feigning forgiveness or like not even really addressing it, the fear is
Hmm.
controlling that entire narrative. So if I truly want to be free and be able to truly forgive somebody, I got to be able to move past that moment and
Hmm.
actually show a side of forgiveness. And also in hopes that now another person might see an example of what forgiveness looks like, because
Hmm.
I often find that most of us don't.
Yeah.
That's just my own little piece. And where fear is it, and that's why I said fear is tricky, because it's not like it's something that's always known. You don't always know
No.
why you're doing something. So, and it's not until like you randomly stumble upon it that it's like, oh, I'm actually terrified of what might come on the other side of this.
Hmm.
So it's out here doing shadow games, something crazy,
Right.
master hide and seek. So it's one of those things. I hope everyone, when they do watch this show, that they do take a moment to reflect on some of the more serious topics that we have, and this being one of
Yeah.
them, because we run our lives based on fear and
Hmm.
not based on freedom on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
Because like you said, sometimes it started as a good thing, but well, how much is it now controlling your outcome in
Right.
situations?
Right. And then I mean, it turns into that sort of situation where now you're imprisoned to the fear.
Right.
And as long as it still maintains that power, you're just it's your master. Y- And that's where it creates that illusion. And so
I had to burp. It
uh,
was loud. I quickly hit my mute button. I was like, I had been holding it on for like 5 minutes. It just kept brewing up. Each time I
Ooh.
would go to speak, it would just like get caught. Since the little oh, but
Oh.
it's that's one thing, because I'm doing a lot of self-reflection in this fasting that I'm doing, where I'm really trying to see and dismantle certain portions of myself that I hold on to outside of just the physical thing of sugars, caffeine, alcohol, whatever.
Hmm.
There's other internal stuff that we hang on to that we need a fast from to really see, like, well, what is life like without this? And
Right.
it's just gonna sound dismissive. It's easier than you think, because your
Yeah.
fears are putting up a blockade to make it seem hard. It's really not that bad, guys.
Hmm.
It's not. And if you need help with it, ask your friends and family, because our inner perspective looks different from those who see us. So
Mhm.
like, hey, is there anything that you've noticed about me that seems to be like, oh, he's getting in his own way?
Yeah.
And you, one, make sure you got friends that like you are close enough to, or if you come to find out that you can't ask that question to anybody, we got to look into that. That's a
Yeah.
big problem.
Mhm. Huge. Like if you
Anybody?
don't have that, you don't have that support network where you can walk that workout and that sort of like dialogue with,
Mhm.
that's tough. We all need each other. Like
Acts. Going
it's
back to our
good.
point last week, where it's like the narrative of In Between Men, we need everybody here on this planet. So like, we got to start working together.
Yeah, it's true.
Anything else on that?
No, no, that was good.
It had just been on my mind a whole lot. All right. Quick side tangent. Are you ready for this?
Is this your bad advice or is this like
Not yet.
okay?
I just
Okay.
this is all right. Who controversial?
Now I'm intrigued.
This is for the Christians out there,
All right.
Christians and Catholics out there. I got a question.
Ooh, ooh.
Uh,
Was
for
was
hmm? Y'all be reading? Do y'all be reading what's in your text? I'm just curious because there's some stuff in there that I think is funny how today's world works, and we quote unquote call this a Christian nation. Um, maybe some of y'all should take a moment and just like refresh. One of the points that I'll make for the Christians out there, y'all like taxes? Because the Bible doesn't. Y'all not supposed to be taxed like that. I'm not gonna lie, Jesus and God hated the tax man, and there's multiple verses on that. Hey, raising taxes is what a lot of conservatives in the government out here doing. I'm just curious if y'all reading the book and whatnot before you start lambasting anybody else about their religious beliefs. Let's just take a moment to step back and look.
Mhm.
Cause y'all be lying all the fucking time, and I about had enough of it. Outside of the tiptoeing about, nah, y'all be lying too much, man. It's ridiculous. So I just like for y'all out there, maybe just take a second look. That's that. I'm just curious because they be some of the loudest and proudest, which I'm not bashing you for that. Be loud and proud about your God, but also maybe see what he said in his book.
It's so the amount of times where we've seen like people that have strong opinions and then are total hypocrites. Like,
That's our government
ugh.
just in general. like,
Well, yeah. I mean,
like,
but everyone, I mean, I don't know, having those
yeah.
moments where everyone's just like, this is the right way. And then you find out something about how they conduct themselves and you go, oh, nope, no.
I would want them to start saying this is the right way for me and stop judging, because last I knew humans didn't have the capacity to judge under Christian doctrine. So, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not, but maybe I am not.
Maybe I am, but I'm not. But maybe I am, but I'm not.
Uh I got some bad advice. You ready for this one?
Hmm.
Listen to every word that your doctor says. They never get anything wrong, ever. and they know your symptoms better than you do. Bro, if you don't advocate for yourself, you're gonna end up with a bigger bill because this should be for the birds. Like, I've gone through a plethora of doctor's appointments and whatnot, and it wasn't until the past couple years of like a nearly 10-year journey in which I finally started getting answers because I was tired of the bullshit loop that they were doing, and eventually became more educated in certain departments of that health field than the doctor talking to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I've gotten more information than any other point.
Yeah.
So I was told a year ago I have something known as BPPV, which is what causes my vertigo, my dizzy spells. It's loose crystals that all humans have in the fluid in their, well, supposed to be stuck in the walls by the fluid in their ear, but through certain happenstances, sometimes trauma, they can become loosened up. And when those are moving about in the cochlear fluid, it makes you dizzy. And I've been trying to figure out why I've had dizzy spells since I was 15, 16. And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until last year that I got answers. Now, part of that, I was just listening a whole lot and not, questioning anything because I'm like, all right, you guys are the professionals, you get paid all the money. But it's called medical practice for a reason. There is no master in the medical field at all. I don't give a fuck what you got to say about it. I don't care how long you've been a surgeon performing surgeries for 50 plus years. I don't care. You have to still learn the new stuff that comes out every year. That's how I know it's a practice. You guys really don't know shit until the next time you know shit. And
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes that be the wrong stuff. So, people,
Yep.
take a moment if you have something and you've said to your doctor, hey, XYZ is going on. And they're like, nah, it's probably not nothing. Shut up, doctor. I'm paying you. Do your fucking job. Advocate for yourself, people. These people aren't listening. So that's why it's bad advice to just listen to every word that they say. They're fucking liars. Well, not liars, but they're not always right. Be
Yeah.
nice. This has gone as one of the most like my mental's kind of like swapped a whole lot. Where it's been very pleasant, and then also fuck off. Like
Yes.
just also we didn't mention any drugs this time, so I'm just gonna randomly say cocaine and methamphetamines. And with that, everyone, peace and love. Have a good rest of the week. We'll catch you next time.